coming up on AI in the classroom, we are going to create AI animated videos on Vid.
Hi, I'm Guy Training, a professor here at UNL.
And I'm Williams, also a grad student at UNL.
And today we're going to talk a little bit about creating animation, in this case, in a platform called Vid, although AI has multiple platforms for video, and we're still exploring a lot of them, thinking about what might work for teachers. So what can you show us?
Yes, so Vid has a plugin in ChatGPT, but you can also go to Vid directly by typing in the address vid.ai, and you can sign in to the account. And so when you are on Vid, you have the options to create a new project. You click on that.
Okay, let's click on that and get there.
Yeah.
And you have the option to upload files.
Yes, you can upload files, but this time we are not uploading any file. We are going to start with AI.
Okay.
And so you click on AI and you give it the idea, what you want it to do for you. And so this time around, we are going to keep it simple and also very precise. And we are going to create a video that teaches forces and motion for grade 4. Okay. And we should tell it to use real classroom and real teacher as well. Real teacher. Otherwise, it will just bring up any
cartoon
that you
I actually kind of like the cartoons. So can we make a cartoon teacher? Instead of a real teacher, cartoon teacher?
Okay.
I kind of like that combination. Let's see what it does. I know it's a challenge, but let's see what happens.
Yes, so and you specify the
Okay.
You also specify the time limit. So let's say 60 seconds.
Okay. Yes. And right now, most of these platforms will limit your ability to create a video because that is very energy consuming. And so you do have to start with small chunks. Also, you don't want them to process through a very long movie and then discover that it wasn't anywhere in the direction of what you needed.
60 seconds.
Okay.
So
and now we have to wait for processing. And this is something that we know about most of AI that isn't text. It's going to take some time to generate all of these images, all of this, making sure that it's fluid in the case of creating video. And all of these things are really, really important as you're trying to make something. And remember that you have to play with this platform a little bit. This platform is new to me. This is the first time I'm using it in any serious way. And so spending some time with the platform will make you aware of what are the capacities and also what are the limitations.
Yes.
What's your favorite thing about using Vid?
Yes, so it gives you a voiceover and explaining the concept that you want to pass across. And it also shows the specific things that you asked it to do. Let's say a real teacher, a classroom, and it will bring all those things live for you to see, for your children or your kids also to see.
Yeah, and we've talked about this a number of times, but where AI and these visuals really come in handy is when you're trying to explain something that is actually very hard to explain with just words or just reading about it. That's when the visual or a video or an animation can really augment what you can deliver, because you're getting to that point of difficulty and you're crossing it with something that helps you see what's going on. And that's why I love the short videos, because I really don't want my kids to sit and watch a video for 35 minutes. I want them to watch something for 2 or 3 minutes, maybe even 1 minute. They understand the concept and then they can practice it or they can do something creative with it. And what I love is it does explain what you're doing. So it says while you're preparing videos, it says we're writing a script, we're recording the voiceover, we're generating the background music, and we're finding stock media to fill out the timeline. So this is really telling you what are the components that it's thinking through. And this is one of my favorite things about the deep research and the deep thinking AI is it actually tells you what it's looking for, which I find delightful. Let's see what's happening.
So you can play.
Yeah.
You can play the video.
Let's play a little bit of the video.
Found us, and they're super cool. Let's dive in. First, what is a force? A force is a push or a pull that can make things move or stop. Imagine you're playing soccer. When you kick the ball, that's a force. It pushes the ball forward. Let's talk about motion. Motion is when something changes its position. If you roll a toy car down a ramp, it moves from the top to the bottom. That's motion in action. There are different types of forces. Gravity is one of the most important. Pulls everything.
So this is not fully rendered. That's partially why the audio wasn't fully synced, and it was also a little bit on the slow side. Once you fully render it, just like any other video, for those who work with video, that's important. What's your thoughts about how this video worked?
Yeah, so it did what we expected, but the only thing is that we specified that it should give us a cartoon teacher, but the teacher, I don't know if this is real.
That is not a cartoon.
Yeah, so that is the only challenge that I have with this video.
Yeah, and we always go back to you've got to prompt a few times before you get what you want.
Yeah.
And you gotta also explore the boundaries. I think that Vid was created especially for these voiceover kind of videos. It looks very TikTok oriented, right? Both, it looks like it's on a phone with the text going like that and all of these things, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but you have to know that that's what you're going to get. And if you want something else, you got to prompt it in a different way and see where you can get it to.
So this is the workspace, but when you render it and download it, it will be on a full screen. It will not be just
so small
like this. Yeah.
Okay. And can you show us one that you've created? And by the way, I do want everybody to see, if you're watching and not just listening, you can see the timeline on the bottom, which means you can actually edit the timeline yourself. If you don't like the order, if you want to cut things out, and if you want, you have the ability to actually manage it, which is something that I like. And it might be also the future of how kids learn to produce video.
Yeah. So if you don't like that teacher there, you can remove him and put your own image there.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
All right. So if you go to your videos, and you can see here that Williams have been playing with quite a few videos, trying to create different things. And this is a video that is about a similar topic, right? Okay.
Today, we're diving into the exciting world of force and motion. Imagine you're pushing a toy car. That push is a force. Forces can make things start moving, stop moving, or change direction. Now let's talk about motion. Motion is when something changes its position. If I roll this ball across the floor, it's in motion. The faster I push it, the more force I'm using. Did you know that there are different types of forces? Gravity is one of the biggest. It pulls everything toward the earth. That's why when you jump, you come back down. Friction is another force. It's what happens when two surfaces rub against each other. Think about sliding down a slide. If it's smooth, you go fast, but if it's rough, you slow down.
So today on AI in the Classroom, we showed you some things about creating video and animation for educational purposes.
Yes. So without, it doesn't care about your background, whether you're a science teacher or mathematics teacher. You can just log into Vid and create awesome videos that will enhance your teaching.
And we'll see you next time on AI in the Classroom.